us on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Power365FM, Instagram at Power365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism. At Power 365 Radio, we pride ourselves on being your go-to source for authentic news and insight. Be it breaking news, thought-provoking discussions, we are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power 365 Radio by following us on all our social media platforms on Facebook at Power 365 FM, Instagram at Power 365_FM. Power 365 Radio, your source for news and insight. This is Power 365 Radio. Get ready to experience dynamic energy and professionalism at Power 365.
Good evening, this is Power 365 Online Radio coming to you live from the city of Ibadan. This is our world news. My name is Onlineradiobox. First, the major highlights. Oyo government vows to prosecute sexual offenders. 11 injured as Boeing plane skids off runway in Senegal. Owner of demolished beach business declares support for Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. Police to go after illegal POS operators. Abducted editor resigns after newspaper apologizes to Gbajabiamila. Over 100 priests, palace chiefs storm court for Benin monarch. Reps ask Umahi AGF to submit Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway credit instruments. Now the news in full. The Oyo State Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Inclusion, Mrs. Toyin Balogun, has vowed that the state government will not shy away from prosecuting perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence. The commissioner made this known during a day stakeholder sensitization meeting on SGBV and COVID-19 preparedness and response project CoPrep held at Center for Entrepreneurship Innovative Studies, Awolowo Road, Bodija, Ibadan. She reiterated that under the existing laws in the state, there is no hidden place for perpetrators of such preposterous act. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives on Thursday called on the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, the Minister of Finance Wale Edun, and his works counterpart David Umahi to transmit all guarantees and credit enhancement instruments for the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway approval. The resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion and of urgent public importance moved on the floor on Thursday during plenary by the member representing Gwa East, Gwa West Federal Constituency, Benue State, Mr. Austin Achado. Recall that 700 kilometers highway awarded at a cost of 4 billion naira per kilometer will cost the nation a total of 15 trillion naira. And in Benin City, over 100 priests, priestesses, and palace chiefs stormed the Edo State High Court on Thursday, chanting curses against the enemies of the Oba at the resumed hearing of the case instituted by suspended Enige Duke of in Benin against Oba Iwure II. Two suspended dukes of Evbo Nosa and Egba Siliko, the kingdoms in Benin Kingdom, Professor Gregory Akenzwa and Chief Edonwoyi Ogigben, had on behalf of some others sued the monarch at Edo State High Court, challenging their suspension from offices. Furthermore, the pair, speaking on behalf of others, asserted that their removal from their positions could only be done by the state governor, Godwin Obaseki, and not by the monarch, who had suspended them for rebelling against his authority. The Nigerian Police Force has said mandatory registration of point-of-sales operators nationwide will reduce kidnapping and help security agencies arrest recipients of ransom payments from kidnapped victims. It also vowed that security agencies would go after POS operators who fail to comply with the directive to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission after July 7, 2024. The Registrar General CAC Usaine Magaji disclosed this at the formal launch of the CAC registration of agents and merchants of fintechs on Wednesday in Abuja. Abducted editor Segun Olatunji has resigned from his position at First News following an apology made by the management of the media house to the Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila. Olatunji will spend 2 weeks in detention after he was abducted by military men from his Lagos home on March 15, 2024, said he had chosen to resign as the general editor of First News for his safety and that of his family. It was learned that the management of the newspaper apologized to Gbajabiamila over a recent news story published on his platform. The story, written by Olatunji, was titled "How Gbajabiamila Attempted to Corner $30 billion 66 Houses Traced to Sabiu." The management, in a statement on Wednesday, said it found out that the story contained falsehoods and fabricated stories handed out to us as facts by the misleading source, which was highly negligent on our part, and for such which we deeply tender an unreserved apology to the Chief of Staff to the President. Meanwhile, Bolaji Ariyo, Mami Chula Beach's Chief Executive Officer and one of the affected property owners on the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road construction, says millions stand to benefit from the project. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, had last week disclosed that the federal government will pay 2.75 billion naira in compensation to property owners affected by the demolition necessary for the construction spanning from Channel 0 to Channel 03. Revealing this information during a stakeholders meeting held in Lagos State, he urged everyone to stop politicizing the project and acknowledged Ariyo, a Yoruba man, as the largest property owner affected. Ariyo, in a viral video interview with Channels Television, said he shared the project's vision even if it causes inconveniences for a small number of people. Meanwhile, in faraway Senegal, a Boeing passenger plane came off the runway during takeoff in Senegal early Thursday, injuring 11 people and shutting the international airport near the capital Dakar for almost 12 hours, management said. The B737-300 aircraft, an Air Senegal flight chartered by privately owned Transair, was carrying 78 passengers and headed for the Malian capital Bamako, airport managers last said in a statement after the early hours drama left 4 passengers seriously hurt. And this ends our world news. Thank you for staying tuned. Now these are the headlines again. Reps ask Umai AGF to submit Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway credit instruments. Police to go after illegal POS operators. Owner of demolished beach business declares support for Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. Abducted editor resigns after newspaper apologizes to Gbajabiamila. Solidarity over 100 priests palace chiefs storm court or for Benin monarch. 11 injured as Boeing plane skids off runway in Senegal. And that ends our world news. Thank you for staying tuned. Do have a blessed evening. Until tomorrow when we bring you fresh programs and news insights, do have a blessed evening. Good night.
Thought-provoking discussions. We are your #1 online radio station in Southwest Nigeria. We are dedicated to delivering top-notch content that keeps you informed, entertained, and engaged. Stay connected on Power